Hi everyone, John Marshall, the Drill Master. I have the Central Catholic High School Chaminade Guard for regulation sequence here. Central Catholic is in San Antonio, Texas. I've been asked a few times what judging a so there are different levels of drill and ceremonies. And there are different levels in adjudication, or at least there should be. So the World Drill Association adjudication system that I developed years ago has different classes, and so the top class is world class, and that is those are performances that really judges can learn from. Honestly, they're meant to have teams come out, perform, and just really be enjoyed. The judges might be able to offer trained, now I'm talking trained judges here, they might be able to offer one or two things for the performance, but really in general it's just a holy cow, that looks fantastic, well done, this is great, oh, good job here, or whatever it is at the time. So anyway, when I talk about classes, it's not the class of people, it's the class that the team is in. So I don't know Central Catholic High School at all. I've not seen them before that I know of, but this came up in my feed and I wanted to give some feedback just to pretty much answer some questions that I've received over quite a while actually. What is it like to judge a team that is in a higher classification or would be in a higher classification? Alright, so let's look here. And I know they probably just got in place. They're making a couple adjustments, so I'm not going to really get into this cadet looking down, this cadet looking to the right. What's odd is they are moving at the position of parade rest, but everybody else is solid. So I don't know the context here, so I'll leave it at that with a mention. What I will say is that she has her feet. You can't see. All right. So hold on.
1, 2, 1, and 1.
I just hate it when things don't work well. All right. Hold on. Okay. So what happens is after I click off of the video and click to unpause the recording, now you can't see my my cursor again, so hold on. There. All right, yes, now you can see my cursor. All right, so and you couldn't even see, so she's looking down, she's looking to the right, but her feet are almost parallel. And then we have others that are angled well, but then again not much of an angle there. So 22.5 degrees in both directions. And just looking at the uniforms, everything makes an impact. Everything communicates to your audience. Love the uniforms. They look great. The ladder lace on the boots on the jump boots is awesome. Used to do a ladder lace or a spider lace, which was really cool. All right, back in my early base honor guard days. So Commander, you're holding the scabbard, and the scabbard is backwards, by the way. Scabbard's not supposed to arc forward, or no, it is. It's supposed to arc forward like that. Have the curve. The curve goes backwards, so the end is actually pointing forward, but you're not supposed to hold the scabbard as you march. And then also everybody's sliding their hands up the rifle arms look good as far as bringing the rifle forward, and then you slide the hand down. So really you're supposed to have the hand in one place and it stays, whether you're at the parade rest or attention. The hand is supposed to stay where it is. So this is regulation drill. This arm here wasn't horizontal. And I know they're not on the excellent technique there. However, I see bent wrists here, and I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. I think I'll show you what I mean. Depends on the quality of the video. So, okay, I'm gonna have to go back then. All right, here we can see it. All right, so see how his wrist is more neutral? So as you're holding the rifle, notice my wrist. My wrist is nice and neutral here. So this is how I'm going to hold the rifle at port. I'm holding a little higher because I'm sitting down. So this is going to be how I grasp the rifle at port. What I see is this. Now see how I've got that kind of an L shape, that almost 90-degree angle for my wrist, and that's what she has right here. And I don't think she does. So variation of technique really sticks out. A trained judge is going to be able to pick this up rather quickly. Good. Had heel strikes through the half step. Nice. So spacing is not maintained through that. Oh, that was great. So even though the rifle's kind of swung out a little bit, notice how everybody right after the facing movement. That's excellent. That's just great, team. Your rifles are grounded right up against your boots. Hallelujah. That's awesome. All right, so we can see variation of technique with, remember I was talking about that angle, but also variation of technique with the feet. So we have some really good 45-degree angles sporadically, but then we have less. And oh, so you can't see. All right, so I'm going to move me there. I'm going to move me up here. All right, so see right here. Oh, and you can't see it because there. All right, so right there, not a 45-degree angle. This is, so the left foot looks good, the right foot doesn't. 45, it looks like 45, probably, yes, not really, yes, not really. So inconsistency throughout the team. But oh, I'm so impressed with that left face and the movement of the positioning. I should say the positioning of the rifle. Holy cow! So some lifting and then placement, a little bit of having the butt. So here's the foot, here's the butt of the rifle. So as the foot moves away from, sometimes the rifle will come around in an arc like this. So here's the foot, 40. This is the right foot. Here's the rifle butt, and then as the foot moves, then the rifle tends to, and I can't do that, but the rifle tends to kind of swing out like that. So what you need to do though is lift up and then place down. But still, man, that was impressive. Boy, I'm impressed there as well. So couple of rifle angles that are not consistent with the rest of the team, but still So here, oh, let me move me, and then you won't be able to see my hand. All right, there we go. Or see my cursor. Oh, I can. Are you kidding me? I'll pause. Boy. There. Now you can see the cursor. Yes. Okay. So same here. So that you can see the grip here is more like this. Let me get closer. There. More like this with the instead of like this. So big difference there in grip technique. And most everybody has that nice grip. Right here, she might have a little bit of an angle there, but actually a couple of the team members might have that type of angle. But you want to have neutral wrists when you're at port or the port position. Layer at the port position. Remember, the port position is the rifle in the port position, but your hands can be pretty much anywhere to facilitate whatever you're doing. And this is inspection arms. So wow, nice. So Commander, great job on the beginning of the salute. The ending of the salute, no. So you have your saber handle right in front of your thigh. It's to the side, but it's still right in front. And what you need to do is, here's your leg, your hand needs to be right here, right at the side. You should feel what the Marines call the knuckle bow, that guard. You should feel that right on the side of your leg. It should be right there. But you have a great angle. It looks to be probably the appropriate 6 inches off the marching surface. But man, that's good. Great technique going back to carry, Commander. Nice job. So again, sliding the hands up, that's not the technique. So maybe you're wondering, let me find it. I'll show you. Okay, so we have 1903s here. So training circular, there. You can kind of see the without the glare there. This is the training circular. This is the cover of the newest training circular. If I bring it up on my computer, it for some reason I'm using OBS to broadcast. Some reason it doesn't always get different windows that are on the computer and then show them to you. So that's why I have to use this. So if you go to page D2, it's Appendix D, so page D2, you can see that there is probably the most ridiculous sets of drawings the Army has ever used, because they, in many places, especially the sword manual, holy cow, that's just unbelievably bad. But this is actually a decent drawing. So you can see that when standing at attention and at parade rest, the hand is in the same place. Now, it's just a drawing, and there are so many NCOs out there that say, oh, well, we don't pay attention to the drawings. Really? They're in the reg, so yeah, actually we do. So we go to the text first, and then we also use the drawings as well, because usually, except for sword manual Army, the drawings will help explain a little more. And in this case, we just have a drawing. And you can look in the other sections of the manual to understand that this technique is applied to each one of the weapons. Well, the longer rifles, the newer, shorter rifles, it's a totally different technique. All right. Let us continue. So don't slide your hand up. Okay, so not only a timing issue there, a little late doing that.
Walk through, up and
Got to
on.
keep your head in the game.
15 count manual, on.
So so it seemed to be uh, a problem there with this cadet bringing her rifle up, but then as she brought it up, you can see the angle there. So I don't know exactly what happened here. Let's
Up and on. 15 count manual, on.
don't know. Hand slip, maybe something. I'm not sure, but she recovered fairly well, keeping the timing. That's so good. That was an excellent tempo. Technique was uniform throughout. Let me go a little bit.
15 count manual, on.
So as a judge, you're supposed to. Oh, okay. So we have left elbows that are up when you're going to right shoulder. That's pretty common, but don't do that. Tuck your elbow down. So as a judge, you're supposed to take samples of technique throughout the team. So when in this case, then I was looking at fourth rank here, and I'm pointing to my screen here, but I'm looking at fourth rank, and then I'll look at second rank, or then I'll look at first squad, maybe second squad. So you're what I'm doing is I'm sampling different groups of people, or even really the four in this corner right here of the formation. I'll look at those four, match up their techniques to see what's going on, and then I'll put that up against another couple here or four here or something like that. So not so the technique isn't completely uniform,
Out, on. 1, 2, 3, 1.
but eventually execution is really really good. Oh, let's look at that left face again. So just to let you know, Commander, that your step back, that wasn't the proper step. So you don't take just a left step and then close, and a left step and then close, and a left step. It's left, right, as you go back. You're marching backwards, taking a left and then closing, taking a left and closing. That's not marching. That's taking individual steps in sequence. That's it. That's it. Lift, drop. That's it. Well, not drop, set down, but wow, team. That's really good. I just want to beat my desk, but I don't want to have that come through the video all that loud. So, you can see here, most everyone has all three toes aligned. That's the toe of the rifle aligned with your two toes. So this tells me, how do I know that they've been training and training and training and then practicing. This right here, just this simple technique, that shows quite a bit of training and practice. That's paying attention to detail, and that is just these little tiny things that they really stand out, and in this case they stand out well. Nicely done. So the angle of the wrists here isn't necessary. So so what they're doing is pulling the hand back and then sticking the rifle in like this. It just looks, it almost looks painful. There. You can see that now, it's not because I'm doing it. I'm just showing you that you have the ability to make your wrist neutral and not have that extreme angle there. That's just that really is unnecessary, and it doesn't look natural either. And it also doesn't really come across as looking good. So it's something that you might want to change there. Now, the training circular never talks about neutral wrist. Like I was saying earlier, carrying at port, nothing says that you have to have a neutral wrist. You can you can hold the rifle at port like this if you want to. This is all just my input of teaching and judging for quite a few years, and what not necessarily what looks good, but what looks better and what communicates better. See, and I've said in other videos, the competitive drill, not just exhibition drill, but competitive drill is all about communication, and the clearer the communication, the better. So we have articulation of movement, which is, we don't blend the movements together so they just come across as just one giant movement. We want articulation, which is slight separation of movement. But then here, standing still, just standing still, we want to have those long, clean lines, and we have it in the arm, but then it stops at the wrist. And then there's kind of a weird thing with the hand, and then we have that long line with the rifle. So it's one way or the other. It's not necessarily my way. I'm not telling you my way. Yes, of course I teach that, but it's a suggestion for you to have clearer communication. I'll put it that way. So as you lift, let's see here. Good, you're maintaining the grip. A lot of times the grip will be so that the hand is completely wrapped around the rifle, and not supposed to do that. But anyway, so you're going to lift, and this is exactly where the rifle needs to be lifted, just in front of the leg, but still to the side. So doing well with that, and it looks like there is consistency throughout with the height. You need 3 inches off the ground, so I'm guessing this is probably around 5, maybe even 6. But still, it's consistent throughout, so not a lot to talk about negatively, really. So yeah, you need to march backwards, Commander, and it's march, not just subsequent individual single steps. Nice. Still got those elbows coming. Good technique, Commander. Nicely done. And maintaining that spacing too. So it looked like the third squad leader just went right into half step there. Yeah, you went right into half step. So remember, you need to take a full 30-inch step and then go into half step. But you have heel strikes, which is really nice. Most everybody's forearm is horizontal. Maybe slight angles here and there, but still. Well, I'm so busy watching their torsos. So when you look at this, this is exactly how you're supposed to march. Nothing is supposed to move from the waist up. Nothing. And they've done it. They've done it. Everything, you're supposed to look like a duck on water. Your feet are paddling furiously, but on top you're just going smoothly across the water as if nothing is wrong. And this is it. Legs are moving, feet are working, The upper torso is not moving at all. No bouncing, no swaying back and forth. Yeah. So third squad leader, you're executing that half step immediately and should. So I want to see those flanks again. Check those end steps. So it could be an end step issue. I'm not exactly sure. But alignment. Yeah, it's quite possible that it's an end step there. An end step issue. So remember, end step is my term for the last step you take in the current direction. So the commander called left flank, that right foot that you pivot on, that's your end step. So wherever that end step is, and it could be the length, but it also could be the lateral position. So your end step is crucial for turns, for pivots, any pivots whatsoever, really, and also halting. So if you're not maintaining your walking base, and if your length of your end step is different, you can screw up everything as far as dress cover, interval, and distance is concerned. So here's what I mean. All right, so we have the walking base. As you're going along, you have the distance between the inside of your feet. You're doing this and you're marching. So left flank, march. You take a step out, 30-inch step, and then you pivot and kick your left out. You maintain your walking base here with that end step, and then you recreate your walking base here for the first step in the new direction, which is that left flank. Okay? Now, here's what it looks like happened. Some steps were shorter or longer, but also some steps were in towards, I would really need to move this way to see with the camera, but it looks like some of the end steps were actually, the right foot was moved over towards the left flank, which is actually quite natural to do, to have your foot, you take the momentum you have and your center of balance, and you start to move that direction before you actually turn, and that's what can take your foot over that way. And it looks like the squad leader has a greater distance than here. So let's back up just a hair. So distance, okay, well, distance was inconsistent anyway back there. So it's, yeah, okay, all right, I saw it, I think. All right, so we have cadets in the second and third rank. They're the two who look to be behind as soon as the flank happens, and I think I know why. All right, and so I'm not exactly sure about the cadet in the second rank of the first squad, but the cadet in the third rank of the first squad, what she did is she moved her foot out here. Instead of keeping her walking base, she moved out here to pivot, and now she's behind. Second is also just a little bit, but definitely third rank first squad is very behind, and you can see her foot move out here and then pivot. So that's why that happened. And that's happening elsewhere. It's interesting. Pivots are happening, but people are stepping back over. You can see that in third squad here. not maintaining that walking base.
All up, up. Prayer, up. Up. Prayer, up.
Okay, good. Didn't see any feet lift, which is fairly common. Look at that arm swing. Not bad. Almost completely consistent. Second squad leader, your backswing is a little bit shorter than the other two squad leaders. And then his arm swing is a little late. No stomping.
Forward, up. Forward, up.
I like it when performances bring a smile to my face,
Up.
which is not often.
Up. Up. On, up. 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 Up.
I know it gets repetitive and redundant. All right, I saw it. Ah. Oh, crud. So, third squad leader, your elbow's coming out. You're doing this. You're popping your arm in, and I don't see anybody else doing it. There. Ha! I did it. All right. Oh, actually, several of you are doing it. Stop pulling your elbow out. That's not the technique. This is huge right here. Absolutely huge. Minimal. Getting there. But no, don't. Just push that rifle forward. That's all you're doing is you just push the rifle forward. I know that that the elbow can help. I understand that. I definitely do. You got to stop doing that though. That's not the technique. Huh. So first squad leader, you almost have a toe strike there. Almost. Speeding up just a little. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see Commander. I didn't even pay attention to Commander there. I was busy looking at the team. No, don't stomp and then execute a facing movement. So you're marking time. So your toe leaves last and hits first. That the right toe is where you're going to execute that left face in march as the team comes around and you're centered on it. So don't stop. It's not a facing movement. It's a face in march. I meant to say don't stomp. Your toe comes down and then you pivot off of that the platform. Let's see. Oh, interesting. So the change step didn't work all that well. Did you know that the Army, the Air Force, and the Space Force are supposed to bring their feet parallel before executing mark time? The Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard actually close their feet and then begin the mark time. But we're supposed to bring them together and then mark time. So everybody marks time or begins the mark time incorrectly. Yeah, there's a toe strike there. And there's some alignment issues. So recovery after that column left was a little slow. So even marching at at right shoulder, elbows aren't necessarily tucked. I could see daylight in there. Spacing is a little close there, squad leaders. And actually, it looks like the team is actually too close together with that interval. You should be swinging that. You should be swinging that sword arm, and I hate it. It's a goofy technique that I really don't appreciate at all. But you need to swing that sword arm, and that is going to look like this. So I have my Army saber, but it's not as handy as my Marine Corps, the NCO sword here that I have. So what you're going to do is this, like that. And I know it's kind of difficult to see exactly what I'm doing, but I need to extend my arm fully. But that wrist is going to go back and forth like that. The whole time you're marching. Good job. So call it on the right shoulder, and instead of you saying right shoulder arms, it should be right shoulder. So the right foot comes down, right heel. And this is suggestion. Keep that coordinated arm swing going. Right shoulder as soon as you have that right heel strike, and then arms. So right is on the heel strike and shoulder comes right after as the right foot rolls through. Left step and then arms, and it's a little bit easier to manipulate the rifle and then come to an arm swing. See, everybody has to pause a little bit there. So or I'm sorry, left shoulder arm. So you're moving to left shoulder. So it's left shoulder arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 4 is arm swing goes back and the right foot is forward. So it works out really well. Just a suggestion for you. So recoveries, okay, that one was better. You know, I really like this ending much better. One thing Army JROTC did really well with this sequence instead of just marching straight up, having that flank over and having to flank over within a certain amount of steps of the head judge, and then halt centered on the head judge. It takes more effort to do that, whereas before you just had that entire distance to center yourself, and then this is much better. It's a little more challenging, and I like that. I like that a lot.
In San Antonio, Texas. Reports out of the regulation drill training. Respectfully request your permission to leave your drill area after sergeant. Thank you, after sergeant.
Interesting. Watch the step off, and watch this cadet here. Watch his feet and his knee, left knee. So he lifts up instead of pushing his foot forward. No secondary movement on that. See, your variation of technique is just this big sore thumb. Big sore thumb. No wonder everybody's cheering. That was a fantastic performance. Really, really good sequence. Awesome job, Chaminade Guard. That was something else. Really nice. And if you have any questions or anything, please let me know. But so hopefully that answers some questions of what I would say to a team that has made it to a higher classification. I won't say class, I'll just say classification. That's better. That's much better. So nice job. That was a pleasure to watch, and has me smiling at different points. That was really well done. Great. So like, subscribe, share, please. Let others learn from these critiques. Thank you.